Died. Connecticut State Medical Examiner saying that she was strangled. Meantime, forensics experts will now be testing DNA from this man. He is Raymond Clark III, trying to figure out if he had anything to do with Lay's murder. Now, he was taken into custody last night, but he was released this morning. He worked in the lab where Annie Lay's body was found, and now police are calling him a person of interest. With us now is New York Daily News reporter Matt Lysiak and forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Bodden. And Matt, I want to begin with you. We now know that she was strangled. What else is coming out?
One new development I want to tell you about is that police are now looking into the possibility that this had to deal with lab mice. They seized her computer, and on that computer they found an email from Clark criticizing her handling of the mice. They also found an email where she responds saying to the effect like a conciliatory tone. But law enforcement are looking into, no matter how improbable it might sound to viewers, that he might have become so enraged that he choked her and killed her.
Okay, go back. The lab mice, Matt. You're saying the lab mice that they do for, experimentation and bisecting and so forth. You're saying that he was upset because of the way that she was handling the mice.
It's one of many motives law enforcement officials are looking at, but they do have these emails where he's clearly upset. Wow. His job as an animal lab tech was to feed the animals, clean their cages. Now, he obviously had an issue with the way that she was handling the mice. So the question is, did this escalate into her death? Dr.
Bodden, I just have to ask you, you have strangulation is now the cause of death, but then you have these bloody clothes. I mean, I don't get it. There's bloody clothes, and yet she was strangled. Where does the blood come in?
Well, it may be that she put up a struggle, and this is the kind of encounter that leaves an abundance of forensic evidence. If blood came from either of them, that'll be easily identified by DNA, but in a struggle, she might have his skin under her fingernails. She may have caused bleeding of him on some clothing. There'll be DNA from saliva, from sweat, even from semen if that's involved, hair, and even touching each other. The fact that they touch each other's clothing will deposit DNA from the skin, so-called touch DNA, but the DNA work is going to be very important in this case, and it sounds more, on the face of it, most strangulations of this nature are sexual in nature. Maybe not always, but that's where I would think that the police are going right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very, Dr. Bodden, it doesn't fall under the forensic issue here, but, I'm just listening to what our reporter on the scene is saying. This is a bizarre development, if there's anything to this, that this could have possibly been caused by, him being upset with her about the way that she's handling the lab mice.
Well, I think they worked probably in the same area, and there were apparently a lot of mice, a lot of research being done. I've never heard of anybody killing somebody else because they're upset in the workplace over which how animals are being handled. So it may be that they didn't like each other, they had an argument, but I wouldn't think that that's sufficient reason that for strangling a person to death.
I'm going to go back to the reporter who's on the scene. With regard to that, is there any indication they've let this guy go? What's your indication for how solid they feel he is as a lead in this case? Are they still looking at other people?
On the record, they say they're looking at everything, but police have their man, and what they're doing is they're waiting for the DNA test to come back, which unfortunately can take up to 72 hours or even longer. When they get that information, most likely law enforcement sources say there will be an arrest made. Or he'll be clear. I mean, one way or the other.
Big development. Matt, thank you very much.
These, by the way, the GOP lawmakers talking about the questions they have about all the czars, the Obama